3 hours since it came out yesterday, and I had already a video on this uh, on this phone, and it took the whole day for it to upload. It was terrible, and so I figured, okay, I'm gonna do it today, and I just woke up and I'm groggy. But here we go. This is a video on Cali Muscle. I felt it's appropriate for this channel because it's a channel on mental health, narcissism, borderline, all that stuff. Now we know, if we don't know, I didn't see this video, but Cali Muscle had a heart attack, and since then he had to kind of reinvent himself because he is no longer the huge bodybuilder that he was, and of course, when you're not the main attraction, you have to rely on uh, a personality. You know, and a lot of times it's what you have to reconstruct yourself. You know what I mean? Like narcissism is constructing a fantasy life, and then you kind of have to shift gears. So let's watch this video and see what's going on. Here we go.
Declining. Why my mental health is declining. Since November 2021, I had my heart attack. Never in my life would I imagine that I would go through a health scare. All my life I was focused on trying to prevent any health scares or any things with my heart or body, or I was always fearful of cancer.
So you can convince yourself of many things. You're doing the one thing that is known. First of all, doing a whole lot of steroids changes your lipid profile and opens you up to all the cardiovascular problems that can happen, the stroke, the heart attack, all that stuff. But you can convince yourself, if you live in a fantasy land, that you can convince yourself that you are not, or you could say whatever you want to say, because when you are especially narcissistic, you believe what you want to believe. You know what I mean? It's your fantasy. You don't want that bubble being burst, because then what does Sam Vaknin call that? Mortification. You know, you die pretty much. The idea of what you are and what you project onto the world, or the shell of what you project, is dead. And of course, depression comes, and narcissistic people do become depressed when that happens. All right, let's keep going here.
I didn't know that eating the stuff that I was eating would have caused me to have a health problem. Well, I thought I was on top of the world. Had a heart attack. Got a stent put in my heart. My whole.
So I remember seeing that video where he was depressed in bed. Look at me. That he became like a instead of a grandiose narcissist, he became like a covert, because the covert narcissists, they play the victim, and of course he played the victim really well. In that video, he was crying and all that stuff, and that didn't last long after that video. You can check out his channel, Cali Muscle. Um, yeah, but he's doing well. Here we go.
Life changed. I automatically knew that I would no longer be able to bodybuild at that moment, which that was my passion, that was my love since I was a kid. I've been at it 25 good years. You hear me? I knew that I wasn't invincible at that point. I knew that, I wasn't from another planet, like I used to say.
Yeah, that's the thing with the steroided guys. They think they're God. They think they wear the Superman logo around their chain, around their neck or the t-shirts, or everything is Superman, Superman. Um, God complex, invincible, all the attention they want, you know. Yep.
So that started the road of which I never termed it as that depression. I was like, how am I gonna continue making money? I'm doing this YouTube fitness thing. People assumed that I used to say I was natural. Now this is gonna hurt me. Just tell them you're on illegal narcotics all over social media. This is the dumbest generation I ever know. My business, my supplement company, how is it
Hmm.
going?
He's saying that's the dumbest generation that he. That see, everything about the narcissist is about everyone else, and it's opposed to about himself. When it comes to being at fault and blaming, putting the blame. You know what I mean?
Going to prosper from this point on? I had a lot of whys. There you go. This is it. Damn, hyphy hard, man. After the heart attack, I got put on these medications that I used to see 60, 70-year-old people taking. Now I was only 46.
46 going on 75. Let's just face it. Being on the gear, it ages you big time.
Having to take all this medication with my friends and family think less of me, with the internet think less of me. I knew that I was going to have to drop down, and I didn't have a problem with dropping weight, but I just didn't want to tarnish or damage my image. My name is Kali Muscle. My meals down at that point to like 2 meals a day.
Your name is not Kali Muscle unless you changed it legally. I forget what your real name is, but you construct. It's a construction, you know. Granted, he needs to make a living. You know, he was in San Quentin jail and all that stuff. He had to really reinvent himself. He initially did, you know, stripping as a couple of solo soft porn videos. He did a bit of Hollywood commercials, you know, and then did one or two bodybuilding competitions, and yeah, let's keep watching.
Still working out. I still had good energy at the time. As time goes on, anytime I felt something, like on my left side, I was scared. And this is a daily occurrence even to this day. Thinking I feel something. If it's gas, if I don't eat, I get gassy. So it goes straight to the left side. And I'm like, oh man, what's going on? And I might have a little anxiety attack sometimes. Things like driving are scary for me. What if I, have a heart attack while I'm driving, and what I'm gonna do? So this is, as I'm driving, this is a thought, which is, taxing. Growing up, I was a small kid.
Just a little thing about the heart attack thing. I mean, initially he said he was doing everything to avoid a heart attack. Now it's like he's doing everything to avoid a heart. Well, it seems, because it's on his mind 24/7. He never had that neuroses, being neurotic about it before. You just kind of like let life go, and you kind of put it into a compartment where you forget about it, and then you do things that are knowingly cause these problems. So yeah, that's why it's really, you're facing your mortality right now. You're facing the, death of what you, well, some people do actually go back to doing a lot of gear because that image is strong. Their identity is really attached to that, and if it requires a lot of drugs to do that, a lot of steroids to do that, you're that's where some people really die. Here we go.
I was like 90 pounds, and I can show you this picture of me playing football. I was like 90 pounds in ninth grade, so they didn't let me play. And so that started my infatuation with wanting to get buff. It was those coaches in ninth grade telling me I was too small. So from then on, I was like possessed with getting big. And so I used to force feed myself, almost regurgitating, and that was my mission. So that just went on throughout my whole life. For 3 months, I wasn't on nothing. I wasn't on no testosterone, TRT. I wasn't on pre-workouts, and I was scared to do anything. I went on this 1 meal a day. Luckily for me, it was easy because I wanted to live. So I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to live as long as I can. I never forget, shout out to Big Boy. He told me right before I had my heart attack that he didn't eat until 5 p.m.
For me to stay leaner and to be down, I gotta watch what I eat.
I was making fun of Big. He was like, oh, I don't eat till 5, 6.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You gotta be nuts, right?
Yeah.
And now, I've been doing it for like maybe 2 months, Mom. Like, I don't eat. I haven't ate yet. Like, I don't eat down to like 5, 6.
Yeah, haven't ate.
And I remember Big just telling me, like, and y'all gotta think, I've been doing this 35 years, and I still learn. And I still learning. Big was like, oh, I get this aggression.
Yeah.
I'm on edge. And
Yep.
so I was like, yeah, okay. I could see not eating that low. And I thought he was crazy, but I'm like, if this guy, this muscular, big, strong, energetic, can do this, I know I can do it. But it wasn't until I had the heart attack that I was like, I'm gonna try what Big Boy do. At 19, I went to prison, and I was eating all the crap food. That's all they have in prison. Because I contributed my health problem to a lot of top ramen, saturated foods. I was eating honey buns, top ramen, Snickers. I'm talking about 4 or 5 top ramens a day with the seasoning packs. I didn't know about sodium. A lot of people naive to sodium. As we all know, heart disease is the #1 killer in the U.S. This goes out to all the young people in the world, man. Don't get fat. Don't get over muscular. Stay lean, mean. If you get too big, you'll have skin issues like.
The approach looks good. Nice leap. Let's see how he did it. IM's advanced health.
Like me. I got skin issues like.
So he's taking his loss and trying to rebrand himself and reconstruct himself as someone who's lean and mean. Because first of all, he needs the money, so he needs the YouTube money, and secondly, for his ego, he needs that validation. He needs to feel that this is what he's constructed and this is what greatness is. You know what I mean?
Like right here, that I hate. See this skin? And I still have 21-inch arms, but I had 23-inch arms. So you had that skin right there. Let me show you what I hate about my body, man, being too big. So right here, see this skin? You have this. You got that skin right there. Then right here, I hate this. Like when you come like this, see that skin right there? Then we ain't gonna even talk about butt cheek. Like when you used to know those old man butts, get that skin down there. But it's just those issues that I'm like, man, I hope it snapped back. But I doubt it will. I would have to keep some muscle mass so it won't get all the way droopy. So that's why I'm talking about them. Everybody want to appear that they just good all the time. And they don't want to talk about it because they want to seem superhuman.
that you want to seem superhuman. He's talking general as opposed to focusing on him. The video is on him, you know.
It's no joke, man. When you see hypey, when you know the word meaning of hypey, energetic, non-stop on the go, that's what they are. I always question, like, did I wait too old to have my kids, or was it the heart attack? So that brings on depression. So I always try to figure out ways to have the highest energy, like I say. And that's when eating once a day come into question, because I'll be like, do I have enough energy or food in my system to keep up with my kids and to do my daily goal, things of working, starting businesses, have to work out. So I know a lot of you guys out there may question yourself about that. So we got to do whatever we can to have that max energy. And like I say, for me, I've been getting 6-7 hours of sleep, eating the healthiest I know anybody to eat. Money. Like, we living in a time where money is needed so much, man. I feel it, especially a guy like me being on the internet, making most of my money from the internet. Because being on the internet, man, it's like the stock. It goes up and down. It's nothing set in stone monthly. So you have to be good with money. You got to know how to work with money. You can't spend money foolish, because you might have. It been times where I had a terrible 8-9 months. So that's depressing, which I've been able to manage well. A man of my age, I still don't feel I'm at the place where I should be at. So that's what keep that motivation and grind, and that's what really combats.
Comparing yourself to others, very narcissistic. Um, so the question is his narcissism decreasing, or he's just rechanneling it and creating this persona that, gives him the validation that he needs?
Depression. Just thinking all of this is on me. Like, I got to take care of my wife, my kids, my business partners. I got to make sure we cool. I got to worry about my health, my heart. I got to it's all these worries and thoughts on every second of the day. You know what I mean? And so I know a lot of you out there have these same problems, and you have these struggles with depression and mental health. Have a focus point. You gotta just get a focus point if you got kids, if you got a business you wanna start, if you got a look you wanna achieve with your physique. Go full force at that. Don't let nobody stop you. Whatever makes you happy, you gotta do it. Love yourself. That's the key. I love all of you guys. Even, I know I was an ex-evil person. So I know when people are just, led by the devil, led by evil.
He was an ex-evil person as opposed to now. Yeah, it's the reconstruction, Um, bottom line, I mean, when, you're looking for validation externally, and you don't get it, it creates that anxiety in narcissistic people, that they have to kind of do something, you know what I mean? I don't know if see, I don't remember the videos. There's a lot of Sam Vaknin videos. There's others that I can't remember right now, but people talk about it. What does narcissism look like when you get older, especially the grandiose narcissism? And I have heard that it does evolve, it does change, because some people realize that they're not getting enough validation, so they have to make amends to certain things. They want certain people in their life. They want, you know, have kids when you're about 50. It's like, it's like you want people to take care of you when you get older and sick. That's kind of like plan B when you're narcissistic. You know what I mean? Oh well.
It's up to you to decide which side you want to be. Like my reason now is my kids. You know, I want them to be raised by a good father that has his head on straight. They guide them in the right direction so they can be great people. And as well, I have you guys. You know what I mean? I know you guys are always watching me, always critiquing and judging. You know, I don't want to judge anybody because I've been there on the bad side. I know how it is. It just takes, you know, awakening to happen. So my awakening is now. I'm fighting this depression thing. Like I say, I have my kids, I have my business partners, I have you guys that we don't have time to be in the corner in the dark, sad, crying, ready to end my life. I got a lot of life to live, and I want to live it, man. I'm doing everything I can, eating healthy, drinking the best water I know of at the moment, and I'm just staying positive, man. I encourage you guys to do the same.
Anyway, so that's that video. Let me know what you think. And yeah.